We've got William, you're coming up, you're next, give it your best shot.
I'll try. Hello everybody. I know. Oh, he's got confidence, hasn't he? He's brought paper with him, he's obviously not very confident. Hello everybody. Are you well? That is going to change. For those of you who don't know me, that's most of the room obviously, my name is William Ryden. I live down the road in Shropshire in a small town called Shifnal. And there I rent a one-bedroom box flat where I live on my own directly above a kebab shop. I used to go to the kebab shop quite a lot, but I'm above that now. Thank you, Stoke. I've been William Ryden. It's been amazing to come. I've got 15 minutes of new material for you tonight. I came here when I did my third ever gig, and that was, I think, in August last year. It's gone very well so far. I know that all of you are thinking, wow, it's really him. I'm here again. It's March of the year after. It's my 9th gig, everybody. That's right. I'm 300% of the comedian I was when I was last here. And for those of you who are here for my last gig, you'd probably argue that's still not enough. I've got 15 minutes of new material because I'm in a comedy competition called So You Think You're Funny. In June, I've got to go to London and do 7 minutes of material. And one of the only bravados about it is that I can't do toilet humour. And for any of you who remember my last gig, you know, the 2 jokes that landed the best were both punchlines about me masturbating. So, got to come up with some new material. I've written 15 minutes of new material about my family. I'm going to start talking about my family. I'll start talking about my brother first. I'm very lucky. My brother is my best friend, which is a very nice position to be in. We're very close, but some sort of differences at school. I was like the nerdy one. He used to like get all the girls, you know. I'd be against the homework clubs and he'd be like crashing out of school. I went to uni, got all the debt, tried very hard, moved away from home. He fell into a career straight after university. Well, after I'd finished university, so he didn't go. And he earns £10,000 a year more than me. I love the guy, he's my best friend. The thing about my brother is I can't admit to you that, well, I can probably, I'm not the most funny person on this set list tonight. If I talk about my brother enough, you'll realise that I'm the least funny brother out of 2 brothers. But like I say, he's my best friend. The only thing I'm going to tell you about my brother tonight, right, is I've got a note on my phone and it's called Pat Ryden, Best Man Speech, right? I figured I might get the gig. His wedding is going to be in 20 years' time, so I'll probably be on gig like 30 by then, some crazy thing. But the only thing the note says is when he turned to his girlfriend of 6 years, last Christmas, at Christmas dinner with all my family, there was a brief pause, and he looked his girlfriend dead in the eyes in front of everyone, and he said, "You put the coal in coleslaw." What a beautiful saying that is, isn't that beautiful? I've known my brother for 25 years, ever since, well, you know, he was fired out of my mum's uterus. I love my mum. My mum's a straight up northern lass. She's from Huddersfield in West Yorkshire. There's some very recent developments about my mum, some very, very new material, because on Saturday last week, she rang me at 10 in the morning. I was hungover in Nottingham, she lives in Lincoln. And she said, "Son, I think I've broken my ankle falling down the stairs." And I went, "Mum, whenever someone thinks they've broken a bone, they've never actually broken it, because it would hurt so much you wouldn't be able to think about it." Right? I said, put FaceTime on, I'll have a look. Her feet, her left one was facing 12 o'clock, and her right one was at 4:30. Right, "Mum, I think you've broken your ankle." She went to hospital. They gave her a dose when I arrived of ketamine and fentanyl. I know, I'm from Lincolnshire though, so she was obviously being asked to up the dose quite a lot. It wasn't doing anything for her. It was just a normal evening, to be honest with you. I heard the worst thing I've ever heard about my mother on Sunday. She was in this ward with people who've all got like broken legs or spinal issues, so they're all bedbound. When I was there visiting her, she said, "Son, I need to go to the toilet." I went, "Mum, don't be embarrassed. You need to go to the toilet. It's completely natural. You probably haven't been for 2 days. I'll go get the nurse." I went to get the nurse. I said, "Nurse, she needs a bedpan." They pulled the curtain around her. I'm stood outside. This smell starts to fill the ward. Right? I won't describe the smell. The lack of toilet humour stuff's going very well, isn't it? The smell starts to fill the ward. And the nurse over this curtain, as loud as the rest of the ward could hear it, said, "Oh, Deborah, you don't do things by halves, do you?" What a horrific thing to hear about your own mother, crikey. Like I say, my mum's a straight up northern lass, she doesn't take any shit, but she's very spiritual. She believes there's a deeper hidden meaning to everything. She's one of these people who believes that the world is a lie and there's a deeper hidden meaning, everything's tied together, everything means something. I don't believe that. A prime example of this, right, is recently my dog was getting quite old. When dogs get quite old, the same things happen to them that happen to humans. You know, eyesight started to go, teeth started to fall out, started to post really racist stuff on Facebook. I mean, some of the stuff I saw. You know, stopped going on long walks, started eating a diet purely of meat-based jellies. Yeah, you don't know which one I'm talking about now, do you? Yeah. Had to have a put down. That's my mum we're talking about, not mine. But my dog was getting really old, and my mum said, well, of course, her vision's going, but she was always colourblind. Right. Now, I knew that it's a misnomer that dogs are colourblind. Dogs aren't actually colourblind. And I Googled it, and I read it out to my mum. And I said, Mum, despite the fact that many people think dogs are colourblind, it's been scientifically proven. Bodes well, doesn't it? It's been scientifically, I'm not at the punchline yet. It's 10 seconds too early. It's been scientifically proven that dogs can see certain shades of blue and yellow. And my mum, who thinks there's a hidden meaning to everything, went, hey, Ukraine. What's that mean? What's that mean? I could never do what my mum does for a job. My mum works with children with special educational needs and autism. It's a really tough job. I could never do it. I could also never do what my dad did for a job. My dad worked in the police for 20 years of his life. I could never do that. I could never take the police seriously if I worked in it. You know? I thought that Operation U Tree sounds like a bath bomb from Lush, doesn't it? My dad is one of 4 brothers. When they all hang out together, well, 3 of them now, one of them's, you know, but when they all hang out together, it's like the 4 Yorkshiremen sketch off Monty Python. Has anyone seen the 4 Yorkshiremen sketch? Yeah. If you haven't seen it, it's these 4 Yorkshiremen sat around smoking, talking about how crap their upbringing was and trying to outdo each other in how crap their life is. And that's exactly what my uncles are like. I'm going to go through my uncles one by one. Well, not the dead one. Sorry, Wolf. Least favourites. Uncle Whistle. Hate the bloke. You might be thinking, Will, you're filming this? It might go on YouTube. What if Uncle Whistle goes on YouTube? He can't work his telly. It's fine. We're all sorted. Uncle Whistle. Might wonder why he's called that. He's obviously had a very distinctive lisp. I don't feel any sympathy for him though, because he's had this lisp for his entire life. It was obviously a horrible thing for him growing up. He's a bellend now. It probably was a result in why he is a bellend now. He's got this lisp, but despite the fact that it makes a horrible noise every time he talks, and despite the fact your roast dinner gets covered in saliva, he shoves as many S and C sounds into his vocabulary that he possibly can. You know, when you speak to him, like last year I went, Uncle Whistle, where are you going on holiday this year? And he'll go, well, me and the daughters are thinking of going to South East Sussex for some salted caramel ice creams and some sea life centre trips. It sounds awful, doesn't it? You just want to go, why don't you just go to Portugal, you know? Favourite uncle? Tough choice for me. I think it's Uncle Richard. Uncle Richard does go on YouTube a lot. Uncle Richard, if you're watching this, God, this is like a 1984 moment, isn't it? Uncle Richard, if you are watching this, I know you're getting on a bit now. You might be thinking, my memory's starting to go. This story that Will says now, I don't actually remember it. I've made this entirely up. You didn't do this. Okay, right. So Uncle Richard came round at Christmas last year. Utter bullshit, didn't do that. Came round last year, and an example of the sort of stuff when it's like the 4 Yorkshiremen sketch, they're trying to outdo each other and how crap their life is. My mum was in the kitchen. It was my mum, my dad, my Uncle Richard, me. The sexual tension, you could cut it with a knife. And my mum went, does anyone want a brew? And I went, yeah, please, Mum. I'll have a tea, milk, and 1 sugar. Right? My Uncle Richard scoffs. My dad scoffs. My dad goes, I'll have a brew, no, please, love. Coffee, black, no sugar. Right? Oh, he's had my pants down there. He's had my pants down, hasn't he? What's Uncle Richard going to do? How's he going to outdo his brother? My Uncle Richard goes, I'll have a coffee, please, and all of black, no sugar, no water. No coffee. But you know lime scale on bottom of kettle? Can you just get a baker's knife and fucking scrape all that off? Died of a kidney stone, Boxing Day. Tragic. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Uncle Richard, you didn't. You're still alive. You're still alive. I'm going to move on from my uncles. I've got a stepmum now. My parents broke up, if you couldn't tell by the doing stand-up comedy thing. My parents broke up. Me and my stepmum have never seen eye to eye. She's 5'2". Let's get that in. No, but it's awkward. You know, my stepmum and I, we've never really bonded. And it upsets me, you know, I don't mind telling you, Newcastle, it upsets me. You know, there's two things that upset me about it, right? And I don't know which one of them is worse. One is that by losing my parents' relationship and my dad moving in with someone who I don't get along with, I've, in a sense, lost my dad. I've lost all these opportunities to see him. Every time I see him, he's different, he acts strange, he's not the man I once knew, and I love him, and I miss him. And I don't know what's worse, that, or I know my dad better than I know anyone. And for him to have left my mum for someone like Sarah, she must let him do bum stuff. It's awful. I'll finish on my granddad. I'm from Lincolnshire, but come on. Finish on my granddad. I talked earlier about how the fact that my mum works with children with autism. My granddad is 82 years old. He's from a generation that does not believe that autism exists. My granddad does not believe that autism exists. My granddad does not believe that autism exists. My granddad, who's had the same daily routine for 14 years. My granddad does not believe that autism exists. My granddad, who wears exclusively one of 7 shirts. My granddad does not believe that autism exists. My granddad, whose 2 hobbies are bird watching and train spotting. My granddad does not believe that autism exists. Granddad, the calls are coming from inside the house. And if they ring after 9 p.m, you'll go, oh, the fucking hell is that at this time? Stoke, it's been very nice. I hope to not make it 6 months when I come back. Thank you very much. I've been Ryden. Goodbye.